Good to see you, boss. How you enjoying yourself so far? Hey, get her another ale on me. No, get her 2 ales on me.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
The croaky bartender comes back and sets 2 mugs.
Doesn't look like it on our side.
He doesn't have that. He doesn't have that prepared. He is going to. Oh, he's gonna unload one of his most powerful spells at all of you.
Fuck.
Magic missile.
You killed.
Let's get this battle underway. We're going down. Get down, get down. Biddle-dip. Jungle boogie.
It is Toivo's turn. Toivo appears, closes his eyes as you explain what's going on, turns its head to look at, or to its head so it's facing the Hound of Tyndalos. So Matt and Brian, you hear the cat just growl real low and dangerous. Nick, you hear meow meow, I can smell you, meow meow meow. Roll your attacks, please.
I am sorry, I am trying to be helping, but
What happened to Trinia?
she just disappeared.
I did.
We lost the kid.
I am not understanding. She just got hit by one of those raisins. She disappeared. She is gone.
And Arabella said I turned to stone?
You were a statue. Must come back.
You know what? I just give him a hug. A big chalky hug.
Okay.
This is not the time!
He just side-eyes you and looks at Arabella and says, of all the places you wanted to fucking teleport us, you brought us right in front of the king's nose.
Yeah, because I have to warn the fucking king. So you should probably leave. Go slink off into your little hole. And maybe warn your people.
He looks like he's about to punch you.
There is a 1,000-year-old dragon burning down a city with over 100 giants right now. I don't have time.
Remember, the only reason that any of that worked back there is because of me.
Yeah. Do you want a prize?
All right, Majenko flies over. Labrisa, I've got you!
Can he do a flyby heal?
Sure.
Get out! Get out! No!
Sure, he'll go right there.
You can read that there is a contemplation about the others in the room and their responses, regardless of what his answer is.
As in, he's concerned about what his response will be because of the people in the room.
Yes.
I kill everybody else in the room.
So you see that guy shows up and swings at you, and it scrapes across your armor as you cast your spell.
Go. Mithril breastplate, bitch.
Glad y'all came to our hootenanny. Good to see you, boss. How you enjoying yourself so far? Hey, get her another ale on me. Now, get her 2 ales on me.
Ew.
Oh my god.
The
Why
croaky
not?
bartender
I just
comes
gotta just
back
start
and sets
drinking.
2 mugs.
Doesn't look like
only
it on our
has to.
side.
He doesn't have that. He doesn't have that prepared. He is going to. Oh, he's gonna unload one of his most powerful spells at all of you.
Fuck.
Magic missile.
You killed.
Let's get this battle underway. We're going down. Get down, get down. Biddle-lip. Jungle boogie.
It is Toivo's turn. Toivo appears, closes his eyes as you explain what's going on, turns its head to look at, or to its head so it's facing the Hound of Tyndalos. So Matt and Brian, you hear the cat just growl real low and dangerous. Nick, you hear meow meow, I can smell you, meow meow meow. Roll your attacks, please.
I am sorry. I am trying to be helping, but
What happened to Trinia?
she just disappeared.
I did.
We lost the kid.
I am not understanding. She just got hit by one of those raisins. She disappeared. She is gone.
And Arabella said I turned to stone?
You were a statue. Welcome back.
You know what? I just give him a hug. A big
Okay.
jockey hug.
Okay.
This is not the time.
He just side eyes you and looks at Arabella and says, "Of all the places you wanted to fucking teleport us, you brought us right in front of the king's nose."
Yeah, because I have to warn the fucking king. So you should probably leave. Go slink off into your little hole. And maybe warn your people.
He looks like he's about to punch you.
There is a 1,000-year-old dragon burning down a city with over 100 giants right now. I don't have time.
Remember, the only reason that any of that worked back there is because of me.
Yeah. Do you want a prize?
All right, Majenko flies over. Labrisa, I've got you!
Can he do a flyby heal?
Sure.
Get out! Get out! No!
Sure, he'll go right there.
Oh.
You can read that there is a contemplation about the others in the room. And
Day troll in the twilight, quest begins at night. City trapped in chaos, crimson thrones lost light. Whispered spells and shadows, rune lord casting fear. Heroes forge their fate now, Corvosa draws near. Rise up, heroes brave, face the rune lord's way. Ancient runes of power, truths they now reveal. Tyrant's throne is trembling, echoes of the past. Runes of wrath are crumbling, victory at last. Echo chants of glory, legends carved in stone. Claimers of the story, city now our own. Reveal. Tyrant's throne is trembling, echoes of the past. Runes of wrath are crumbling, victory at last. Echo chants of glory, legends carved in stone. Claimers of the story, city now our own.
Hello, everybody. Welcome on in. It is another episode of the Claimers Conquest. I'm not gonna regale you in tales of chatter this afternoon, I should say. I'm going to just simply push it on over to Andrew and be like, Andrew, take us away. Tell us what's going on.
So, at the last game, we had Miles and Naveen rejoined the group, and you all were experiencing the aftermath of the gala, the Gallery of Tyranny. Arabella made some plans to try to get her hands on the grimoire written by Aslanist. Dalibor had a conversation with the ambassador from Brevoy, Iliodor Grigorovich. Brianna had an encounter with a doomsayer shrieking about a Zovacane. And there was a meeting called, a small council meeting, which most all of you are a part of, by Neil Landis, that the time-honored Riverwind Festival of Corvosa, a summer festival that's is heralded by lots of drinking and partying, is coming up in about 2 days. And that although they have very pressing things in the future happening, the citizens of Corvosa are going to expect something like this.
Welcome in, Raiders. It's Chibi Corky's Corner. Welcome on in. How are you doing, Chibi? Welcome in. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you for joining us. We're doing our tabletop RPG. You're getting in right at the beginning. We're just getting started. Just getting started. Bop and a resub just to start off. Just to get us going. Right off the thing, we got a resub as well. Welcome on in, guys. If you don't know Chibi's Corgi Corner, they are a member of the Be Kinder stream team. And are amazing. All about the corgis over there, right? All about the corgis. So go and check them out. The Corgi Alert. Welcome on in, guys. If you like tabletop role-playing, we do tabletop role-playing every single Wednesday and night. live here on stream. This is one of our more powerful campaigns that we have going on. A lot of moving parts, a lot of story, but you don't have to have seen the rest to join in. You can come on in and, just like a TV show, get to know them as you hang out with us, get to know the characters, get to know the story. If you have questions, ask in chat and we can respond and type. So thank you guys so much for being here. Welcome in again. Guys, go and check out Chibi's Corgi's Corner. Chibi Corgi's Corner. It's a mouthful. But I will let Andrew continue on, and I will chat with you guys in the chat while he continues.
So you came up with a couple ideas of what to prepare for the Riverwind Festival. Brianna was going to use her Rod of Splendor to provide food for 100 people. Arabella was going to make Mage's Magnificent Mansions. Dalibor was going to brew drinks. Naveen was going to ensure the security of the event. Miles was going to bring black arrows to help supplement the security. Sephi wanted to set up a petting zoo and a planar ally. There were going to be archery contests. There should be dancing and music. Quite a few things. And so where we pick up is, this is currently the 20th of Serenith. It's in the afternoon, and we are beginning those preparations those initial preparations. To recap, Neil Landis in his explanation to all of you was speaking about Corvosa expecting pageantry, ale, music, and a moment to forget that their queen is gone, their king is untested, and their streets still uncertain. So let's start initially with Brianna's items. Brianna, you are going to use the magic of your rod to start preparation for this festival. And unwittingly, what you soon find out as you start working on things is that has also volunteered you for the food catering.
Yeah, that figures.
So somehow you are going to have to put together vendors to feed all the people that come to this event.
Okay.
You know of several places in the city that you could go, and you know of multiple different delicacies. You do have like hirelings or servants that are prepared, that are given to you by the castle, that will help you coordinate things. So
okay,
like you don't have to go to every single vendor hall yourself.
gotcha.
You can send people to do it. But where would you like to start with this?
Oh, where I would like to start, actually, okay, so I know the like the Shoanti are out and about, but I'm assuming there are probably some people of Shoanti descent that live in or near the city that are maybe less, for one reason or other, maybe not as nomadic.
There's a Shoanti population in the city, yeah.
So I kind of like the idea of like I'll reach out, I'll send messengers out to all of the places that are definitely Corvosan like regulars places to set up as far as food vendory stuff and where that would be set up. But I want to personally go out to any of these shops, restaurants, uh, or deli equivalent, I guess, in the fantasy setting, that are more regionally based, like the Shoanti, or if there's um, I don't know, a small group from like Tianza or something crazy, like, you know, kind of like different, or Andarin or whatever, like try to find some more regional things from different regions, with the idea being that, you know, showcasing our diversity, for, you know, that some people are born here, some people come here.
You have local as a knowledge skill.
No.
Okay. So you can
But I have a
roll
+1 circled, so I get a bonus to my skills, so
you
I'm
can roll a
rocking a
diplomacy
+2.
to gather information that for
That I have some skill ranks in. So this would be diplomatizing. Hey, and I'm a hero of Corvosa, so that gives me a +2. Yeah.
Ooh. So you're asking about regional delicacies and showcasing maybe some Shawanti delicacies. And a lot of the foods that Corvosans eat generally day to day, because of the city's military history, are somewhat bland. But there are several regional delicacies that are served in Corvosa.
Okay.
You know that there is a delicacy known as jigsaw fin maktasha. It is a deep fried fin of a jigsaw shark, and it is doused in a mixture of Budrani spices, which would be something that is not native to here.
That sounds good.
You know that there is a Shawanti treat that's called Max Max. It's pickled moose fat dipped in powdered sugar.
Okay.
And then very famously, there are reef claw pastries. They're deep fried balls of mashed reef claw that are, it's almost like a deep fried crab cake.
Nice.
However, as you're asking around for locations, one thing that catches your eye is in the on Eadred's Walk, they direct you that there is a person, a vendor in one of the shops that smokes meat.
Okay.
I think the place is just called like Smoked Meats. It's a very, very austere name and an austere shop. But you catch the rumor that there is a shipment from the Cinderlands of hunted bullets
Ooh, okay.
that come twice a year, that from Shawanti hunters in the Cinderlands. And if you're quick on the draw, you might be able to secure smoked bullet for the festival.
Okay.
Bullets being the land sharks that you've faced before.
Right, right. Yeah, I will hunt down this. I will hunt down this butcher shop slash deli, whatever, to see what's available.
Yeah.
My dog is giving me a look like she might want to go outside. Yeah, that's it. I have to step away for just a moment. Be right back.
Okay. We'll jump back to you. Let's go to Naveen.
Okay.
Naveen, you're meeting with Chrysidia. You're at Citadel Volshanik, and you're working with her to set up security for the event. So you're in her office. All the papers of her desk are pushed to the corners of the room, and splayed out on the desk is a map of Corvosa, like the one we have here.
Oh, hey.
And the two of you and her are beginning the plans for security and logistics of the festival. So the location where they are going to have the most concentrated events, Chrysidia says, is Domina Square here.
Okay.
How should we orient our security patrols? We'll obviously need to secure this location, but we should probably also have a pathway or a route, a protected route for if anybody needs to be escorted to the hospital near Westdock.
Yeah, I agree. That makes sense. We should probably still keep at least some light patrols throughout the city, especially Old Corvosa, near Northbridge and potentially East Shore, since those are some entrance points into the city.
I've received information that there, as there always will be, are informal celebrations celebrating the River Wind Festival throughout many of the major locations in the city. I don't think that we need to have an established presence guarding these locations, but there should be patrols that go by them. So that's each of these open areas. There's one in North Point, one in East Shore, the one over right in front of High Bridge, and the plaza by the amphitheater, and the plaza at South Shore. We're receiving words are locations that some of the citizens are throwing their own events at in celebration of the Riverwind Festival.
Great. I mean, that's less for us to have to entertain.
But it's more we need to keep a watchful eye on.
Yeah, I mean, what, 3 or 4 patrols of maybe 4 that can circle between the events, set up a route.
So what should our route be? Citadel Volshnik can be a starting point, of course. We'll want some permanent security here in Domina Square.
I'd say maybe one group can go from North Point past the North Bridge up to Old Corvosa and back, and just watch that area. And then maybe 2 others can circle throughout the East Shore, the Midlands, the South Shore.
So one goes like this.
Yes.
Then one like this. This says drawing on the map.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, I like that. Then maybe a third one could go from North Point down to High Bridge and back, and just
Usually you pay double for that kind of action, Cotton.
keep on that main road back and forth.
So like this.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. The docks can get rowdy around the Riverwind Festival, West Dock. So it'll be good to have a patrol that way. And what about the logistics of our Domina Square event?
Then maybe folks in groups of 2. I mean, so that they can move through the crowd easier. Looking for pickpockets and other trouble. They almost in this city, you're more of an expert than I am.
Well, I think that we should look at some of the possible focal points in Domina Square, which is there's going to be a brewery and vendor hall and a vendor row location that we'll want to look at. There's Arabella's mansions surrounding the area that we'll want to have security posted at. The petting zoo to make sure, nobody's messing with the animals too much. And stage security.
Should we do a few shifts throughout the day so everyone can also participate in the festival?
I think so. How many of your recruits and standing forces do you plan to commit to this? I think you have 100 about.
Yeah, they're about. They all, I think, will need to take a shift.
Well,
It's
that's good to hear.
Good practice, if nothing else.
Yeah, I think we should rotate them too. Condition some of them, condition all of them so that they all spend turns patrolling. Whenever they see action, there's going to be a lot of movement. So having them in good shape would be good.
I agree.
So the Riverwind Festival usually starts sometime a little bit after first light, and it continues into the evening, past sundown.
We'll want to start patrols before and continue after.
Yes.
So we'll divide the time up by 3 and do three shifts. We have enough people. Not, we will have to do 2.
Well, I have received word that we'll have some help. We received a bird from Citadel Raid that a group of 20 armigers will be arriving in Corvosa, likely Moon Day morning. So you can supplement your numbers with 20 Hell Knights.
Oh, okay. Not sure how well they would do in the square itself.
So you want to keep that to our people?
Yeah. I don't know how the citizens would take to having Hell Knights. For their festival, at least. When it comes to defending the city, almost everyone is welcome.
Well, we could put the Hell Knights in charge of securing the route to the hospital if anybody needs it in case of emergency.
I like that.
Okay.
There's enough, maybe a route to the jail.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely securing the route to the hospital.
And how many do we want devoted to Domina Square? How many of our people do we want stationed there?
How many guard are there?
Well, what are your numbers again? She says.
So we've got, from my recollection, there are 73 guard. We have 24 Sable Company, and then have a personal contingent of 5.
So you have most of my guard, she says.
Yep.
I could probably scrounge up another 50.
Okay. These down in these notes. So I have it in 2 notes. 24 stable. Okay. Has anyone talked to you about what to do with the highly skilled force that is potentially just rotting in the prisons?
That is part of where my 50 is going to be scrounged up from.
Ah. I'm glad you've been thinking about that as well.
It's going to be people that are retired, people that are incarcerated, and quite frankly, anybody else I can get my hands on with any military or martial experience.
How long do you think it would take to recalibrate the Grey Maidens?
I don't know. We'd have to find them to start. They've scattered into the wind as far as I know.
I don't know that we'll get it in 2 days, but maybe we'll figure it out soon and work to get them for the battle.
Batsy! Welcome on in, Raiders! Zubatsy, how are you? How was your stream? How was everything? Welcome on in. Guys, if you don't know Zubatsy does all kinds of cool stuff over there, including her Wee Wee Wednesdays, which is usually when I get to pop in there, which would have been today. Were you doing Wee Wee Wednesday where she plays old Wii, retro Wii games on the Wii? Is that what you were doing today? How was your stream? Welcome on in, guys. We are doing some tabletop role-playing Pathfinder 1st Edition. This is our Claimers Conquest adventure. So welcome on in. You did do that and a little bit of Dead by Daylight. Okay, picking up the new Dead by Daylight. They're doing the FAFNAF. Five Nights at Freddy's or Friday Freddy's or whatever FAFNAF stands for. Welcome on in, Raiders. Thank you so much for being here. Come on in, take a seat, listen to the adventure, the story, as we are preparing for all kinds of things. 5 FAFNAFs at Freddy's, yes, very much so. We are currently having the Game Master is kind of going over things with Naveen about our defenses on the city that we are trying to defend and set up for a big event coming up. So welcome on in. Let you guys.
We were actually just kind of wrapping that up because we've got a pretty good security plan so far. With that, I think we're going to jump back to Brianna, who is setting up food.
Yeah.
Brianna, you're going to smoked foods.
Yes.
The location on Eadred's Walk, that's as you get there, it actually is very crowded. You can see a line outside of it. Apparently word has traveled about the smoked bullet bits.
Okay.
Looking at it, you can see they've got a grill and a spit set up where they are well, actually, there is a big rack with a full-size bullet on it that they are butchering.
Damn,
out in front of
okay.
the storefront. a bullet, as you know. You've seen these things up close.
Closer than I probably would like, yeah.
They are 15 feet long.
Yeah.
You don't even want to know. You don't want to even guess how heavy they are. They're covered in armor.
Heavier than several mounted knights?
Probably.
That's fair. I am going to let me ask you this. Have I been to this place before?
You've seen this place before, but I don't know if you've ever been there.
Fair enough. So I'm just going to quickly ask who the proprietor is.
So you're going out to the butcher up front, and he said the man looks up at you kind of with this dour look on his face, and he says, "That's me, Tebin Corvallis."
And my apologies, did you say Kevin?
Tebin.
Like out of character, how do you spell that?
Tebben, he spells. Tebin.
Tevin on Brianna Shadekist.
Why does that name sound familiar?
I get around. I have a bit of a proposition for you in regards to your fine beast.
As
and
you say a proposition, he's like, no, I'm married.
That's great. That's not the proposition.
Run.
That's not the proposition I was thinking of. What were you thinking of?
Well, you said
you know what? Never
around.
mind. Let's not. No. I'm trying to get some vendors and whatnot put together for the festival coming up in a few days here.
Oh. Well, why didn't you say you're here for the Riverwind Festival?
Well, because you presumed I was something else, and there was some confusion. But we're moving past that.
So you want me to grill at the festival?
I would be very interested in your talents with smoking and cooking and curing meat and what have you, and providing that benefit.
Said I'm married.
Gotta cook his meat.
Okay.
Interested in your fine meat, sir?
It's not Nadal. It's not Zon Cathan. And it's definitely not the bee lady. I can't think of her name right now.
Alistria.
Yeah, and it's definitely not frickin' Callistria. It's Dream, Desna. At any rate, sorry, I talked to the weird things. Anyway, yeah, so honestly, we're looking for
It was at this moment that
all
he
sorts of wonderful
he
vendors,
fucked up.
especially if they can bring something interesting and rare. I was wondering, I know it's not very often you get this bullet meat. Would it be at all possible to, I guess, pay for a large chunk of this creature for you to serve up for the festival? And maybe, while trying not to disappoint too many people here, maybe make the choice selection small to start so that we can have the meat available perhaps for the festival.
I haven't finished butchering even yet.
I which means this is perfect timing considering the festival's only in a couple of days. I
Yeah.
imagine there are a few people that are already putting in some orders.
Yeah.
Dicks!
I mean,
Thanks, Grinder.
And my,
what did you
I
say?
guess, because of the unfreezing process, I have no inner monologue. No, wait, what?
To feed the festival, you're going to need our whole shipment.
Well, or a goodly chunk of it.
You could feel like the weight of disappointment on all the people behind you, but at the same time, they come to the Riverwind Festival, they're going to get it and not have to pay for it. He's just kind of thinks for a minute and says, well, what are you offering for our services?
Well, how much would you normally, how much would you say would you normally get for, or would you charge for a rare steak? Or if he's got I guess if he's got a menu thing, do we see like like a menu of options?
He does have a menu.
Okay.
His typical
Or does he
standard
have
cut is like between 8 to 12 silver, and for stuff that's more rare is 1 to 2 gold. But the bullet is very rare, very high demand. That goes for about between 20 to 40 gold a plate, depending on the cut.
Okay.
Have to go hunt a few more down, Brian.
Ugh. Although I have connections.
That's what I'd get individually, he says, but if you're buying it all at once, I'm willing to offer a little bit of a discount for the festival, of course.
Okay. I would be interested in I would definitely be interested in taking a look at that and also securing your services. We'll make sure you're set up as kind of the at sort of the head of the vendors area, so to speak. Um, perhaps even going so far as to say like I don't know if you wanted to do it in like skewers of meat or whatever.
These will make about one of these, he says, as he cuts into the bullet, will make about 300 steaks. And I could probably make another 500 to 600 pounds of meat in stews.
Ooh, okay. All right. Well, if we can
But if he charged the full price for the bullet steaks, you don't even have the budget for that. You've only got a 10,000 gold piece budget.
yeah, I hear you. Um Okay, so I guess what is he how about this? Admittedly, the idea is to kind of, because it's a celebration and ultimately to give people to expose people to different tastes from the people that have come to make Corvosa their home. perhaps we can make some options of like a, you know, like a skewer of the meat for maybe a silver or two, and then maybe a stew that has some bullet meat in it among other stuff, however you want to craft that, you know, kind of say it's a mix and match of things. So that way, admittedly, we can also extend the stew a little bit and make that a bit maybe cheaper and more affordable for those that can't pay the hefty costs. And then maybe hold a little bit of meat in reserve for those few who want to purchase a 20 or 40 gold piece steak. I mean,
Well,
there are always some rich adventurers that need to have the coin burning a hole in their pocket.
well then, if that's the case, if you're cutting it with beefsteak, then you could probably get away with just, and he points to the bullet, just one.
Okay. Do you think that's doable?
I think so.
Okay.
Selling this thing at full price. I'd get anywhere from, I'd probably get half of my earnings of the year off of this, if not more. These things cut a very high price, about 6,000.
Okay. Tell you what, I can't guarantee anything further right now because while I am on the council, I'm not necessarily the head of their revenue service, so to speak. But being that I am on the council, if you're willing to drop it down to say 5,000, I could put in a good word to see about building this up as maybe also a partial donation, since you are donating a bit of your time and admittedly going to be making some money off of this. Understandably not the same amount, but that perhaps some lenience and or forgiveness of certain taxes might also be arranged maybe for the next year or so.
Ooh.
Again, no promise, but I can do what I can to try to make things happen.
Make a diplomacy check.
Of course, it would help sell it if perhaps you save a good couple of chunks or slices, perhaps for some steaks for the king and his family. But I'm going to use my reroll on that because that sucks.
A nat 20 and a nat 1.
I know, right?
That's a lot better.
That's a lot better.
He
Oh,
thinks.
and that's, oh no, that is with my, yeah, that's already with my hero Corvo's bonus. Sorry. So that's already factored in.
He thinks for a moment and he says, taxes are really steep here in Eadred's Square. If you can work something out related to that, you know, get me a good deal with the city, I'd be willing to go as low as 4,000.
I promise you, I will give it as solid an effort as I can to get all the ears bent in the right way to see something happen. I can't say exactly for sure what will happen, but I will make sure that you get your due and your thanks from the king and the people of the city for what you are willing to share and celebrate, not just during these times, but what you do for the city as a whole.
I've got other people here in the store. Any other meat that you get or food you get? We've got chefs that can make meat pies. We've got people that deep fry. Send it through me, he says.
Okay. Would you say, I mean, I know he said he gets his, like you said, out of character, he gets the bullet meat every once in a while during a year or whatever, but is he considered more or less more of a, like a Corvosan merchant, like at heart, like born and bred Corvosan, or is he kind of one of those that maybe has a little Shoanti heritage or some other, uh, more of an
He
kind of an
he looks
immigrant status, for
Corvosan.
lack of a better
He
term?
looks Corvosan to you.
Okay. Then I would be happy to use him to secure what other, again, for lack of a better term, of the side of things, the Corvosan side of things, the Corvosan vendors.
Mhm.
Happy to use his help with that and get those vendors on board. I will still also look for those vendors that are, again, for lack of a better term, more immigrant type status to Corvosa, but have
Yep.
decided to make their place here, to also give them a chance as well, so we have a good mix and match.
So your other checks will take you outside of the city to
Sure.
Thief Camp, which is a heavy population of Arisians, which you may or may
Makes
not have
sense.
been to before early when oh no, I don't think you went there.
I
People
don't.
went to Thief Camp when there was a maybe that was Trails End actually, when the plague broke out. And one
Oh,
of the
sure.
first people that was sick with the plague. It's when they first met Ashani.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I
That would
vaguely
actually be
remember.
Trails End, where the Varisian population is.
Okay.
But I'd like you to roll me another 2 diplomacy checks. This is to secure some Varisian vendors, and then the second one is to secure some Shawanti vendors.
Okay. Not bad. So 28 is the first roll. 31 is the second roll. Go roll 20. And sorry, was there a third roll then, or just the 2?
The third roll was with Tevin, which you actually made already.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay. So you've got a variety of vendors now secured for the event, and a variety of different foods that are going to be served.
Perfect.
Let's move on. Let's do Sephi. Sephi, you're going to be setting up the petting zoo.
Yes.
Okay. How do you want to go about that?
Well, she also wants to get a planar ally too.
Yeah, that is something you're going to want to do closer to the event, maybe tomorrow. Because the shorter towards the event you have, the less it'll cost.
Okay. Well, I think she's gonna go to where the baby hippogriffs are first. Because clearly that is something that people would want to maybe pet or get close to. So she will go there first.
Okay, so you are going to the Great Tower.
Yeah. Yeah, Sophie will go there. And then they would probably be able to, she kind of figures they'd be able to direct her. She doesn't have knowledge of it.
So you go to the Great Tower and you meet with the sergeant there. His name is Sergeant Droven. A man in his mid-50s, ruddy tan skin, looks like he might be Parisian with a mixture of Shawanti, and he's got Shawanti tattoos all up and down his arms. 2 sleeves. You can see there's like a nursery set up for the hippogriffs, so like stalls with little hay piles. There's food troughs. You go there and you see Sergeant Droven there.
Excuse me, Sergeant Droven, I presume?
Yes.
Hi, Sephora Thrain. I don't know if you know who I am, but I'm helping the Seneschal out with planning the festival that's coming up. And we thought it would be a great idea to have a little bit of a petting zoo. And since the city is celebrating the return of the hippogriffs, maybe we could have a few of the babies out on display, start getting them used to seeing people. I don't know if like they're friendly enough where people can pet them, but I think at least having them out. If any of them know any tricks yet, I'm pretty good at training. I could help you even.
They don't know any tricks, he says. They're still foals. Is the Seneschal on board with putting these animals on display?
Well, I wasn't thinking all of them. Just a few, and we can
Right,
make
but
sure it's safe.
it's a miracle we even have hippogriffs here.
Yeah, I know. Like, I asked for Asthma for them.
What?
I asked for Asthma to bring the hippogriffs back, and now they're back. So I just thought maybe we could put them on display, and everybody would be like, "Yay!" Or like, can they fly yet? Probably not.
No.
No. Okay.
Make a diplomacy check.
Oh, I have my staff. Without the heart. 45.
I can give you one.
Okay.
I do have other animals in the menagerie I work at since I had retired.
Oh, are they more friendly where people could pet them?
Some of them are. You follow me?
Sure.
He looks at one of the others. soldiers that are there, take over and take you to the menagerie. He leaves and you go with him, and you see it's a barn that you have never been to, and it's almost like a miniature private zoo inside.
Oh, Stephanie's excited.
Not a zoo. It's like a rehabilitation place, like that, like the Department of Natural Resources or whatever it is will, like, orphan ducks or whatever that can't fly.
Yeah,
they'll take
like-
them in, they'll raise them, they'll rehab them, and then they'll release them back into the wild. That's what this
Yeah.
guy does.
Okay.
He says, well, we've got dozens of bunnies, he says, pointing towards one of the cage that I think would be perfect for your petting zoo.
Oh,
They're
right.
easy to go with children.
Mm-hmm. And they don't usually bite.
They don't usually bite, and they're minimal danger to other people, and they can be handled.
Mm-hmm. Okay, great.
Supervised. I'll give you a hippogriff full to use for this. One. He
No
goes
petting,
over
just
to
on display.
He goes over to another stall, and you see 3 small, tiny. They look like cats, but they're a little bit bigger than cats. About the size of a lynx. Do you have nature?
Actually, yes.
Then you can roll it.
$16.
That is good enough. You are well aware of the creature that lives in the Cinderlands called the fire pelt cougar. Kind of like a little bit more dangerous than mountain lions, or about like mountain lions. There are 3 cubs that he has.
Oh, where did you find these?
He just kind of chuckles. They'd be okay. He leads you to another stall, and you can see that there is 1 sheep there.
Okay, sheeps are okay too.
He's like, this one is a spectacle for people, but it can be a challenge to contain.
The sheep?
Yes.
Does he like or she like the jump?
No. I'm sorry. He kind of mumbles under his breath. He shouts at the sheep, and you see it disappears, reappears. You see, he goes over to it, he's like, I'm sorry. He's feeding it.
It's a teleporting sheep? Where does it go?
What do you mean, where does it go? It goes here.
Well, okay, I guess. But is it cursed, or is there a knowledge check?
Have you ever heard of a blink dog?
No.
Do you have knowledge arcana?
Oh yeah, I have my staff now. Hang on, let me consult my staff. $36.
You have heard of blink dogs. They are magical beasts. They're lawful good magical beasts. They travel in packs, roaming forests and plains. They run off evil creatures, hunt phase spiders. They're intelligent and generally friendly. creatures that are able to teleport. He just looks at you and says, "This is a blank sheet."
Aw.
Nah.
And the last one, he says, as he goes to the next stall, and you have a plus 19, so you'll be able to identify this just by looking at it.
Okay.
But you see this very small, well, probably actually the size of a medium to large dog, feathered, half bear, half owl cub, an owl bear cub.
Oh.
And he's like, and he just kind of points to it, and he's like, "This is Muffin."
Muffin.
We've been training Muffin. Muffin's pretty well trained. She's only bitten 2 people.
Well, that's not bad.
Yeah.
What tricks does she know?
She knows heal
Okay.
and seek.
Seek.
Oh, we're teaching her fetch.
Okay. Do you think that she would know fetch in time for the festival?
Maybe. If somebody can encourage her.
Oh, well, I'm pretty good at training animals if you need help.
So you can choose 3 to 4 animals for it. I don't want to give you everything.
3 to 4. Okay, and any of these animals
The
that...
hippogriff would count for 1.
Okay, hippogriff counts for 1. For all the animals in here, which ones are you not comfortable with people petting besides the hippogriff?
I mean, they can pet any of these. The blink sheep gets startled easily, so you have to have people approach it in a certain way.
Certain way, okay. Well, I definitely think the bunnies,
Okay,
because that's pretty safe.
I agree.
The cubs are very cute. So I definitely think the cubs. And the owlbear nobody's really seen before. I mean, nobody's ever seen a blink sheep either. But do all the cubs need to stay together?
You should keep the cougar cubs together.
Okay.
They're all the part of the same litter.
Of the same litter. I'm nervous about the sheep just because I don't, depending on like where she teleports, if she like teleports out of the area and then runs off. Because I'm pretty sure there's going to be drinking and alcohol there. And some people get crazy.
Okay.
Although like this. Okay, I will get back to. I think definitely the owlbear. So I'm debating between the hippogriff or the sheep. Because you said 4, right?
3 or 4, yeah.
4. Okay. Bunnies, cubs.
Bunnies, cubs, owlbear.
Owlbear.
And you get between the hippogriff and the hippogriff foal and the blink sheep.
Okay. I will get back to you on the hippogriffal and the blank shape. Do you need my help, like getting used to the animals? And then do you have a community here that helps take care of them, or is it just you?
It's not just me. I have other people who work here.
Would they be okay with helping run the zoo?
Make a diplomacy check.
42.
Yeah.
Okay, great. I'll be around too. And then did you want help training any of the animals? I trained my horse really well.
I think we got it.
Okay. Well, I think my next steps is I'm going to set up a little bit of an area for them. Do you have any specific requests?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Wonderful.
Okay.
Well, thank you so much.
So we'll move on. Let's go to Dalibor.
Okay.
Dalibor, you are brewing ale, and you have a lot of ale you've got to brew for this.
Yes. So I
think
was
you
going to
sent
talk to
me
Majenko if I had a chance before I started.
Okay.
I wanted to ask him if he had some time to do me a quick favor.
Sure thing, buddy.
You know a lot of the pseudo dragons in town, right?
Yeah, I'm kind of like their ringleader.
I've got some money. If you can spread the word, if by sunfall, every pseudo dragon that brings me the tail of a wild imp from town will get 5 silver. I have 50 gold. Once the 50 gold is out, we're done.
Okay. What are you going to do with these imp tails?
Oh, I've got an idea for distilling it and putting it in the brew. Something very Corvosan. And it'll kill some of the imps in town. Think of it as they've got 5-hour bounty on imp tails.
I better get going then.
And then I'll start getting prepped with the idea of adding of distilling some imp venom and putting that as a special flavored ingredient in the brew.
So you're going through back in the storage area of the Golden Key to kind of get some of your supplies and your brewing materials to bring into your alchemy lab.
Yes.
Make a perception check.
Perception check. Hey. Nat 20. 33.
Ooh.
Woohoo.
As you're clearing crates and stuff, there's like a stack of crates, and you got to get to your brewing supplies, some of it which is in the back, getting like some of the barley you have, and you see a crate with like maybe 20, 24 jars in it. You're like, you don't recognize the crate, or at least you don't remember it. And the top is open, and it looks like it has jars in it.
I look to see if it's got like some sort of trap or something on it.
With your 33, you know it's not trapped.
Okay. I'll open it up. See if I can
Okay.
figure out what these are.
Top is open. You pull out one of the jars, and you can see it's has like a do you speak or know Elvish?
I do know Elvish.
It is written in Elvish, the label. And it says snowberry fire pepper honey.
Do I know where this came from?
You're looking at it and you're like, where did this come from? Because you didn't order this.
No.
But maybe your dad did.
Dad?
You can make an arcane check, or I'd let you do craft alchemy.
I mean, it's a 2-point difference, so I got a 45 on my craft alchemy.
So you're thinking, and it clicks in your head, snowberry fire peppers. Those are from Keonan, grown in Keonan.
Yeah.
They're a magic pepper. Very spicy. Very spicy. Spicy enough that it can completely, like, it can daze you for a round. But, you know, also that people who utilize food as magic items or enhancements, that they eat these fire peppers and it gives them fire resistance.
Oh. Okay. Just for eating it, or people that like use it as an like if they use the spell fire resistance and they use those as an alchemical thing, it
Well,
increases it.
With your alchemy check, you think that while eating one of these would probably be too much for your average Corvosan citizen,
Right.
You could potentially distill some of this honey into multiple batches and dilute it into a spicy brew. It might even go well with your imp's tail.
It could, but I was also thinking of something just now. I was like, I have something else, but I figured it would be a little bit too much. But if it creates like a fire resistance, I could pair it with something that gives more of a fire, like this 50 gold pieces worth of Efreet blood that I have.
Yeah.
But first I have to find out why it's here. You know, if my dad ordered it, he might have ordered it for another reason. Is there any notes or anything, or a letter or anything on it that says anything?
Well, you can speak to your dad. He's in the store, and I think you called out to him.
I did.
You hear him shuffling back to the storage. He's like, "Yes,
Did you order these?
I did. I thought they might make a good drink enhancement, or maybe we could make some potions out of them."
Well, I was just thinking about doing a imp brew with distilled imp venom as part of the brew to celebrate Corvosa. But I do have some of that Efreet blood, and this could go well with it as a countering agent. And do like a almost like a mead.
Ooh, like a spicy mead.
Yes.
I like this.
I do have 2 days. I could make 2 different batches of items. I could do the imps one that I'm thinking of tonight, and I could do the Efreet one tomorrow. If I do the 2 nights together, I could get a 3rd day, because each night we allow me to do an extra 4 hours of work of crafting. So I could technically get 3 days of work out of the next 2 days.
Just making notes. Okay.
What are your thoughts?
So, one day I think you should do it. I would want to try some of this myself. Efreet bud and snowberry fire pepper. Once in lifetime drink.
Agreed. How much do we have enough for? I will kind of look it over and see if I can estimate how much I'd probably be able to make.
Go ahead and roll another craft alchemy.
49.
So, you could probably make this would probably make about 8 gallons of mead, but if you're diluting it, which you will have to, you, depending on how far you wanted to dilute it, you could do double or triple that amount.
What do I think would be palatable to a average Corvosan?
Um, so you probably want it to be, you'd probably want to make it triple the amount
Okay. And I could just add in other honey.
and add in more team or honey.
Yeah, I'll add
in
add
addition
like
to
a
it.
local honey. Go and buy a. I'll get some.
You need to get it low enough in heat and spice that they don't have to make a fortitude save or be dazed for a round.
Right. Okay.
And it's normally a 15 plus up to 10 higher because it prevents 10 fire damage.
Okay. So yeah, we'll do a triple batch, and I'll see if I can get some local honey. I'll ask my dad if he can find some, like, you know, I'll give him a formula, like how this is how much other mead we can get. Do you think you could go on an errands and track down some local honey for us?
I can do that.
Excellent. Yeah, so that's the plan. That's the plan. I am actually going to ask. Actually, I'm just going to run. I'll just use my clickety clock boots real quick to go to the other alchemy shop where my friend is.
Phaeton, yeah.
And ask Phaeton if he'd like to help me.
He says, for the Riverwind Festival?
Yes.
I'd love to.
Great. Meet me at my place as soon as he can.
Okay. He wraps some things up that he's doing at his alchemy store and then joins you. I'm assuming you're having him help you brew.
Correct, because the like right now, the higher my roll is, I can make more than if they're just doing it on the side.
Yeah.
So like the plus the 8 another from everyone is more important than then just doing it on the side because of my ability to basically get times 10 the amount.
So at the end of the time that you've given the pseudo drakes, you're gonna get 100 intips.
That should be more than enough.
And a lot of imps died for this.
Good. That's kind of the point. And I will give out the 50 gold.
Okay. So, looking at what you posted for how much you can brew.
Yeah, and I can give it to you. I can go and find the math because I use a little aid to do the math for me. So I could just say, hey, do this, but for a bottle that is valued at, this amount, it'll just backtrack the math for me. So
yeah,
if you think one of these is worth more,
I think your Imp's Tail brew and the Fireberry brew would probably be worth more than your typical ale.
Yeah, and what I sent you is for a fine ale, not a typical ale. Because typical ale is like 2 copper.
Okay, then yeah, that would probably work.
Yeah, I wanted it to be something good. I didn't want it to just be your basic stuff. So yeah, that's a silver per bottle, like a bottle of beer.
Okay, so we'll have you you're going to be working over this the next couple days.
Correct. I'll do 8
Let's have
hours
you-
during the day and the 4 hours at night, both days.
Let's have you roll now for this, and both Dalavor and Phaeton will be helping you.
And
They'll
Kegger.
add a plus, and Kegger, so that's +6.
Well, Kegger gives a +5, I believe. Right? Because I gave him the
Oh.
gloves of aiding.
So then that would be +9 from the 3 of them. Plus, if your lab gives you an,
Oh yeah, my lab gives me a +2, so 50 on the nose
that is what you needed for
for a
top end of your
1,666 bottles.
you got over 1,500 bottles.
And that's for 8 hours. That's just the first 8 hours.
Okay.
Excellent. Perfect. Makes for easy math.
Yeah. Okay.
What was the value of the honey that my dad bought, or are we just taking, like, it hasn't been paid for and I'm still just going to pay for it regularly?
So snowberry fire peppers are, for 1 pound of peppers, it is 600 gold,
Okay.
but that is distributed across multiple jars of honey. You know, that's not just, I don't know how many peppers you would make if you made a spicy honey.
So we'll just say that that's part of it, and I just pay, and it just all balances out, and I'm just going to pay for what I just made. The
Yeah.
crafting. Okay.
Yeah.
I will pay for the.
Also, you are able to take this off of the event budget, because that's what it's for. You have a 10,000 gold piece budget. Unless you want to specifically just pay for it yourself.
I don't think I'll get anywhere near the 10,000. Oh, I suppose, do I need to set up like a tent and people to sell and stuff like that?
Probably, yeah. You're gonna need workers distributing drinks.
Okay. Well, I have
Well,
people.
Isn't it 10,000 for everybody to use? So like,
Right.
Grant just spent 4K.
Oh, yeah, that's 10,000 total, not just for the drinking, right?
Correct. That's
Yeah.
10,000 for the overall party budget.
I am just going to do everything out of my own budget
Okay.
because it's a lot, but at the same time, I have a lot of the materials on hand. In fact, I actually have an alchemy budget that I've sunk a bunch of money into just so I have it for crafting things. So I'm just going to take a lot of it out of there. But I will minus off that first amount of 55 gold and 5 silver, which is the cost to craft that first batch.
Okay. So Dalibor has quite a few brews that he's making. Let's jump over to Miles. Miles, you mentioned that you want to go to Fort Rannoch to bring some black arrows to supplement the security forces here, and as well as maybe helping for archery contests.
Yep. So, knowing I got to go to Fort Rannoch, I would try to find Arabella, because she is my ride.
You are able to find Arabella.
Okay. So, Arabella, if you have a moment, hopefully this won't take longer than 15 minutes, but we'll see.
You need to go somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. I was hoping to make use of your teleportation circle so I can collect some of my men for the security detail, as well as the archery contest, and if need be, extended service into other things that are coming.
All right. Well, first off, do you have 1,000 gold worth of amber dust? Or do we need to procure that?
I could certainly go about procuring that. I do have the budget for that. And would you need it for both directions?
Just
Uh,
one way.
Just one way.
You and him
Well,
can teleport there or greater
yeah.
teleport there, but you're going to need the circle to bring multiple people back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go the Bank of Abadar. I'm sure they have amber dust.
Yeah, you're able to get the amber dust from the Bank of Abadar, nicks off 1,000 gold.
Yeah. Right.
All right,
So-
describe to me where we're going. I don't think I've ever been to your fort.
There's going to be Fort Rannick, north of Turtleback Ferry.
Is there a specific room or place that we teleport into, or if there is there any areas that are blocked for magical teleport? I would prefer not to be shot.
No, none. There's nothing blocking that.
Might be something you want to look into.
I'm considering our primary foes that have attacked Fort Rannick are giants. Less of an issue. But I will actually describe the secret chamber that I don't remember which of the Wami Matrix was it. Lucretia had used?
So you're talking about down in the jail?
Yeah, because she had that sacred little hideaway chamber that she was using. That was the backdoor entrance.
There are a couple places you could go. There is the like a guard station in the bottom where the dungeon is, and there's a secret entrance that led from a cave of shocker lizards into the basement of Fort Rannick. There was also a secret tunnel behind the waterfall that led into the actual fort from outside.
Yeah. Okay. I do want to see if what they've done with those as well. We'll go with the waterfall entrance.
You want to go to the waterfall entrance?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will greater teleport us there.
Okay. We will do for the stream.
That was called a fire winterberry or a winter fireberry.
It was called a snowberry fire pepper.
Snowberry fire pepper.
So teleporting behind the waterfall will take you here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Can you ping there again?
Yeah. Okay. All right. And looking around, does it seem like there's been any brush tracks?
No.
None. Okay.
Nope.
My men's been in this fort for how long, and they haven't discovered this yet. Okay.
And it's known. They just don't use it.
Well, this would be a nice little surprise audit. Yeah. All right. Start heading start
Yeah.
heading up
Yeah.
and
I'll just
into.
move you guys to the actual location. We don't have to.
Yeah. It looks like it's taking
So
forever
big.
too.
Oh.
Right. Twitch chat too. You go to the courtyard. It brings you out to the courtyard, and you see Jakardros out there drilling people in archery.
Mhm.
And on the wall, you can see Tiberius. Tiberius Crane.
I will call it perfect. The two men I needed to speak with. Cardros, Tiberius. I'd like to introduce you to Arabella from Corvosa. If we could,
Greetings.
Just kind of looks to Arabella and says, "Hello."
Hello. Hi.
in short, she's a very high-ranking member of the Corvosan society at the moment. They're the ones that I have been working with as far as preparing to defend against the imminent attack that we had discussed last time I was present. This visit is actually partly for that, as well as assisting them as they do require. Well, I had offered our assistance to assist them with security detail for a major festival that they're holding.
Out of character, have you actually brought Chloe back to Corvosa yet?
I don't believe so. Or did we?
We teleported her as well as the rest of the group that had come here
To
to
here.
the well, we had I think we had teleported Chloe at the end of that encounter back with us to Corvosa to the academy, where she was supposed to be working with them as far as defense against to help train the recruits that she had.
So then Jakardros says, guard detail. Crowded city streets aren't the best spot for a longbow, but how do you want us helping? Guarding, judging, watching from rooftops?
There's a couple things. Being able to provide extra eyes from above. But part of the festivities is an archery contest, which I think might be right up your alley. Especially as I'd like to give a couple of boys an opportunity to unwind before things get dicey, shall we say, when our favorite friends come down the hills. Keep them sharp. You were just drilling. Why not give them a little opportunity to make a little extra coin? So, for those
Right.
that come along, I was planning on Jakardros, since you are one of the greatest assets our organization has. I was going to have you aid me in making sure the detail and the festivities are coordinated and go well as be there with me should our giant friends attack a nearby settlement. Nearby, as in near Corvosa. You're anticipating an attack there. Yes.
What do you think? Maybe 12 of us?
That's what I had in mind. I don't want to take the entire force. A good handful run operations for the festivities as well as a little extra support, primarily Overwatch.
I see Tiberius shouts down. I think I'd be better served remaining here.
Should anything happen to Jakardros and or you're in charge. I assume that's suitable for you.
I'll make it work.
Could Arabella sense motive that guy?
Yeah.
Okay. Meh.
With a 24, what you sense is you aren't able to get a specific bead on him, but you are able to sense a little bit of tension between him and Miles.
Hmm.
Right.
And also with your 24, this guy gives off an aura of stick in the mud, straight laced. It's like sort of like the vibe you get off of Dalibor, but a lot stronger.
Okay.
Vibe wise.
Yeah.
You know, because Dalibor's like a first level paladin. This guy is like higher than that.
Yeah. Arabella kind of.
Dalibor's a stick in the mud. I see.
Lawful.
Wow.
Lawful good.
Arabella
What
will
does
kind
Brian
of like.
always say? Lawful prick, chaotic jerk.
That is correct.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, Arabella will kind of narrow her eyes at him, but then that kind of tells her what she needs to know.
So, okay, I just pulled these names out of thin air, but I'll ask Jakardros or one of the nearby men that I have to find Rye, Bo, and Flavin. Those are my three highest followers after Jakardros and
Rybo and what was the last one?
Flavin.
Flavin.
Literally riboflavin. So
okay. Jakardros goes and says, yep, I'll go find Rybo and Mr. Bromanthan.
Hey, how long is this going to take you to gather everybody up?
10 minutes?
To get everybody's stuff out? Get them all ready to go?
Are we staying a long time?
I mean, the festival is for like, it's like 2 days from now. And then if you're going to help us in the battle, that'll be after that. So,
Then
like,
give us a couple hours.
Oh my god. Okay.
Everybody's gonna have to pack their stuff.
How much?
Hmm.
Is Arabella going to be like, I'll be back in a couple hours, teleport away, teleport back?
She might. Although I guess, how long does the teleportation circle? Hang on, duration 10 minutes a level.
Yeah.
I cast it, so
That's 3 hours.
cool.
If it's 10 minutes a level. So you can just
Yeah.
cast it and leave.
All right, you guys have 3 hours. If you aren't back here at the circle, I'm going to give very specific instructions. If you mess it up, you're out of luck.
Right. Thank you, Arabella.
And I will. Where in the city do you want them? Or do you want me to just pick a place?
Um,
You want me to do it? It's like do the teleportation circle at the Golden Key? Are they going to stay there? Or at the barracks?
hmm,
Could be, there should be room at Naveen's school.
yeah. Let's have
Grosvenor
him.
Academy.
Yeah, let's have him head to the academy. Because I will need to speak with Naveed and coordinate where she and her security detail had blind spots anyway.
I will be nice and I will spend an Arcanist point to make it 2 caster levels higher so they have a little extra time.
Okay. And then Arabella, poof, teleports
Yep.
away.
Gives them the instructions.
After a couple hours, everybody is gathered into the courtyard that you're bringing, including Flavin, Bo, Rai, Jakardros.
Yep. Cardros. As far as Kib and any other companions, I'll make sure that we have proper accommodation for all of them. So we go ahead and bring Kib. Probably be quite important later on down the road.
Right.
May need to run messages with Kib. So and the other few would have companions as well. I assume they're all rangers, so. So as long as we're all set to go, let's hop on over and help you get settled in at the academy.
Right. So you and your retinue of rangers and their companions' pets enter into the teleportation circle that takes you directly to the Grosvenor Academy. From there, you'll be able to coordinate security detail, which your group will likely be on rooftop watch.
Mhm.
Right. And last one, Arabella. Arabella, you were mentioning setting up mages' mansions,
Yep.
and you wanted to talk to Ashan about what exactly you need to make.
Yeah,
Or
maybe a
should make.
Shawn. Yeah, maybe a Shawnee and the kids.
Okay.
But mostly.
So you gather all together to talk about it.
Yep.
What do you say to them?
So in a couple days, there's a festival that the entire city participates in. Gonna be honest, never been myself. And Neil Landis and the king want us to plan it, and we don't have a very big budget. So I'm gonna cast some spells to make mansions and to look at the kids, because I'm pretty sure everybody's, yeah, they've all been in the one that I've made. But
Are they gonna have to eat half-eaten food?
well, that's what I wanted to talk to everybody about, because my idea of, you know, my creativity is not everybody's cup of tea.
One of the
So
other kids says, "You should make them fun."
yeah,
Shawnee says, "You can change the composition to whatever you want inside, right?"
and there's also servants. So I was thinking, so gonna maybe do like 4 or 5 different mansions, and I thought they should all have different, I don't know, sort of themes. And so I can make servants and I can make food like based on those themes. And
Can you make
so
one into a maze? A maze house?
yeah, probably.
And another kid is like, "How about one with mirrors to make you look funny?"
Do we combine both of that? Be a maze and the mirrors that make you look funny? Or 2 separate?
I don't know.
Okay, so mirrors that make us look funny, and a mirror mansion, and then a maze.
For those who like a thrill, you could make a spooky one.
Yeah,
And
I was wondering.
the servants could scare people.
Yeah, okay. Haunted house. I can base that one off of Scarwall.
How about a much less muted version of Scarwell? PG.
Like okay, so so kind of like fake blood ish, or like what do you mean?
Maybe the servants are like sheet ghosts, limited to no gore.
So just like jump scares?
You want to scare them in a fun way, not in a way that makes them have nightmares when they go to bed.
Okay. Okay.
That's valid.
Okay, so Mirror Mansion, Maze Mansion. I kind of thought about doing like a replica of the castle, but then if I did that, I'd probably want to rearrange the rooms. Or like a replica of like the throne room.
Oh. Giving a commoner into the insights of the inside of the castle, what it's like to go through the castle.
Mm-hmm. But then rearrange actually the order of the room so people, like
So
don't
nobody
get
can
in
like
affairs.
plan how to attack.
Yeah. So do like generic Corvosa Castle.
Like, this room is over here, and there's a hallway here when there normally isn't one.
And then that can be like palace servants. And we'll have like a royal buffet table or something. Because it comes with food.
Yeah, maybe not food in the haunted house.
Oh, we could do in the haunted house. So in Scarwall, they had these jars they had jars of like organs and eyeballs, we could do that, but it'd actually be food.
I think you're leaning a little too heavily on Castle Scarwall.
I mean, okay. I'm just saying. Oh wait, there were severed dicks. That's what it was.
Not appropriate.
Okay. Maze Mansion and the Mirror Mansion. Any food there? Or just be like apples. I don't know.
I don't know. I guess up to you. These 4 are good though.
Let me see how many spell slots I have. Haunted Mirror. Maze. Maybe I'll do one more that's just like I don't know, like if people get tired and they just want to like sit and hang out. Oh, maybe I should do a library. That's fun, right?
You hear all the kids groan. Ah,
No, libraries aren't fun. Like a quiet space.
I guess that could be good.
Okay, we'll do a quiet mansion.
The
Library.
sensory mansion.
Yeah, the sensory mansion. Where we'll have the servants doing ASMR in one of the rooms.
No.
And yoga.
Well, I guess it would be good that since all of these mansions come with food, and there are many, many people that will be coming, it would maybe be helpful or reduce the difficulty for people if all of them had food.
Yeah, I could do, maybe I'll do another one that's just like a tavern.
So
Even
you're
though
gonna
it
do
doesn't.
6?
Oh, why not? I have 9 7th level spells.
Well,
Or not the tavern.
I think the 5 we have are good.
Okay.
Well, think about what kind of food to serve in them.
Well, I still think the haunted one we should do a jar full of eyeballs because I think that's fun.
We'll workshop that. Moving on. That is everyone from focused preparation. So at the end of this day, you all meet together and kind of go over and share things that you've come up with. And you get a couple other things that have happened in addition. Let's see. Somebody roll me a D3. Okay, and roll again. Somebody else.
Oh,
Rachel. Brian. Thank you.
Can't take me anywhere.
So
I thought thought you were doing that on purpose. Or did you?
You get a
No.
few things. The first is that Neil Landis was able to increase the festival budget. An additional 1,000 gold can go towards the festival. The second thing is that there is a shipment of dolls and figurines that could be used as a prize. It was donated from Pastico's Dolls and Figurines.
Oh.
Seeing that and hearing that, Naveen, brings a bit of nostalgia. Your first job.
Mm-hmm. What
Unless,
if
oh, go ahead.
what if the maze? Because I'm assuming you told us about these ideas.
Yeah.
What if the
And
maze was like a corn maze and you could have like hand pies and cider and mulled wine and stuff for the food at the end?
Okay.
That'd be a good idea.
Corn maze.
And then lastly, you had Trinia go out and try to get people for the battle of the battle of the bands or for music. And she brings up that she found people willing to play at the event. And that she'll probably perform with them. She said the band was called the Mike and Ikes. It's it's led by a guy named Minstrel Mike.
Minstrel what?
Minstrel Mike.
For Mike.
So the Battle of the Bands only has one band, is what I'm understanding?
No, that's going to be the music throughout the entire duration of the festival.
Oh, okay. But not
in
for the Battle of
Domina
the Bands.
Square. Not for the Battle of the Bands. She's still working on that.
For prizes, so you have the dolls that can go for one of the prizes, right?
And we have the house deeds.
So we only need a prize for one more thing. We had 3 contests, right?
We have the archery contest.
The Battle of the Bands.
I don't know what the third contest would be.
And there was dueling.
Oh, dueling.
So
the winner of dueling could get a
scholarship to
get
the
into the
school?
academy for free for the first year.
okay.
Yeah.
And then the dolls would go to the Battle of the Bands or the archery contest.
Probably
The
the archery
dolls was
contest.
the dolls was something intended to be for just small carnival games for
okay.
children.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. I was going to say, knowing how target shooters are, I don't think making them a prize for an archery contest is a good idea.
Well, what do archers want? Beer?
Well, well,
Money?
drink, money. I was going to supply probably a small prize of 200 gold myself for whoever won.
How about a magical longbow?
Ooh, that's cool.
We have one. I have one in the shop that's available. We could put up.
Heck yeah.
Wow. Wow. That's a much greater prize than I had in mind.
And
Yes.
add both.
What were you
The
thinking?
gold could be a runner
Just to
up.
really rub it in, first place is the bow, second place is the
200 gold?
Yeah.
Well, I suppose you could do a 3-tier prize.
Yeah.
We don't have to. I'm just saying we have one.
I think the bow makes sense.
The bow certainly
And maybe it'll
does
bring in
make
more
sense.
people and we could find more. I mean, word gets around.
True.
Indeed.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I will put that note that is no longer for sale.
Yes. Could use the bow for first place. I could increase the prize for second place to 500 out of my own pocket.
It's quite a bit.
Yes, but not as much as the bow.
No.
But the way I see it, a 500 gold prize, if people were to know that it was coming out of my own pocket, might make people more inclined to see the black arrows in a better light than they had in the past.
Yeah, could just say
Yeah.
sponsored by.
Black arrows.
Mhm. Mhm. And
They're
members
gonna
of the
be a
Black Arrows will be running it. So,
Is there gonna be a third tier prize?
Yeah, just a couple.
Mm.
You could just still put some gold in there.
Yeah.
yeah.
100 gold. So then we need a prize for the Battle of the Bands.
I was looking to see if we had any magical instruments, but we don't.
We did at one point.
We have.
You do.
Um,
You have a harp of charming.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, did I miss that one?
It is row 25.
Go, there it is. That is really expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Ruby earrings.
Oh, somebody bought that.
Yeah. I mean, we do have that golden statue. We have a golden statue. I know we have a chalice as well. Which maybe the chalice would work because, you know, bands, drinking. The silver chalice with dragon carvings. Although that's not anywhere near as well as the magical bow.
How much? Oh, 7,000.
Composite longbow is 1,300. But yeah, the harp of charming is like 7 grand.
Could do like a handy haversack.
Hmm.
It's
That might be-
useful.
That would be useful, especially if it's a traveling musician group. A musician that's on their way around the world.
True.
Put a lute in a.
You know, you could. I mean, how much is a handy haversack?
2,000.
I guess you don't want to put too much. I think Steffi would bring up with that idea of you could put other things in the handy haversack as a surprise.
Yeah, you'd have to tell them because it would be a surprise. They'd never know what's in there unless they knew what to pull out.
Oh,
Or
I
they
suppose.
dumped it out.
Yeah, they could just dump it out.
I suppose.
All right, so the archery contest is gold for second, magic longbow for first. What is the deed prize for?
Oh, the deed.
Yeah, that can be for the band.
There you go.
A party house.
A
Yeah.
studio for practice.
Studio. There you go.
We had tuition to the academy for first year, and that was for the dueling contest.
Yes.
And academy to the Grosvenor Academy. I thought for a second you meant to like the magical academy. I was like, what? No, that works. So you have prizes for everything now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. This is going to take us into the next day.
And we needed to figure did Brianna ever figure out exactly how the stuff was going to work with the food guys?
Yeah, I let everybody know about what I did for the food and
because like you still have to set up like a deal for them, right? Or did you do that already? To get their stuff discounted for taxes or whatever you said?
Oh, I still have to go talk to the. Well, I should probably address that to the whole council, I guess, just to make sure. I did try to swing a deal with them as far as that goes, though, and I might need your help a little bit, Dalibor, to help me maybe convince the right people that this would be ultimately a good choice for.
I look at the Seneschal. Can we get them their own building to have a restaurant?
Well, Smoked Meats has a building already, but for the
Right.
other two, we could set them up with storefronts.
That can definitely help them with that. Is there anything we can also do for smoked meats? I was able to get a decent deal, and I kind of explained the situation as far as what I discussed with them. I'm hoping we can figure something out, come to some sort of arrangement.
You're basically like the 1,000 gold in profit loss that he's taking is going to be applied to his taxes.
Well, I mean, I didn't necessarily go into the super details, but I mean, I could see how something like that might work out.
Do any of you not have plans for tomorrow?
Tomorrow's not the day of. You're talking about the day in between, right?
Correct. The one day we have left.
Other than just making sure the hospital staff are set up for coverage and whatnot, I think ultimately we should be okay.
Seth, you'll pipe up.
Go ahead.
I don't think, I mean, I just have to set up where the animals are going to be and then decide when I'm going to do the planar ally spell, and I might cast other spells tomorrow. Otherwise, I'm free.
Well, our group some time ago spent quite a bit of time in the Cinderlands, and we've run across a few billets. I'm certain if we go to the area we saw them, we could at least track one down and bring the body back from them, and that would assuredly pay for that entire bit.
I don't want to do that. I don't like killing animals.
Plus, we may have some struggles trying to transport it back.
I mean, I guess I could maybe help with the transporting if I didn't have to look at it.
It was just a thought. We know where they are. Generally. Obviously they move around, but I'm certain we could track one down fairly easily. But
yeah, Miles would probably maybe like that. He likes hunting.
Certainly do. Big game is great.
I have to brew still. I've got a lot to make. I've only made about 1,600 bottles of brew. And I'm going to need a lot more than that.
Do you need help brewing? I mean, I can't help you, but maybe I could find someone.
Our room is fairly full at the moment.
Okay.
I'm assuming, Andrew, that we're at pretty much capacity with 1, 2, 3, 3 of us plus Kegger in a like 5x5 room.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, there's
mean, I
just
suppose the
enough
kitchen
room
is a
for you
separate
to
room too,
still
so
work. Yeah, but that room's even smaller, I think. There's just enough room for you to work.
right. So
Yeah.
I don't think any extra people would be any more help.
Well, I don't know if we need it, but I'm just gonna throw it out there. I did like take another look at my gold, and I do have enough for another miracle. I just haven't decided what it is yet. But I don't know if we need a miracle for the party. I think it sounds pretty good right now.
It's just a party.
Right. I think we are good on that.
But like if you needed the more alcohol, like I could just be like, hey, Caden, can you like triple the amount?
I used all my spells on the party. That's why we all died against Karzug's army.
Okay.
So,
Oh, is there a fountain in Domino Square?
a what?
A full water fountain?
I thought you said a phone.
Yeah,
That's
I was
what I
like, there's
heard
no
too.
phones anywhere. There is a water fountain. No, there's not, because it's an
Okay.
open area where they put stages up and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. But going into the next day, it sounds like there would be downtime, but it sounds like a lot of the time people would be using, like Dalibor has that 8 hours that he's spending crafting brews. I just want to go through this day leading up until the evening and kind of briefly get what everybody is doing. And if you aren't working on party stuff, it's okay too if you have other things you need to work on. But we just very quickly go through. We're not going to do full scenes for it, just sort of a highlight of what you're doing. Arabella.
Finally working on the pool
Okay.
stuff. I mean, I don't know, like maybe before she leaves, she'll do like some test mansions
Yeah.
for like the kids to try. And a Shawnee.
Well,
Maybe
you
a
can
Shawnee.
you can mark another day on the pool.
Yeah, but she's gonna be studying the pool. And I'll do the keep watch thing and
Brianna.
stuff.
So the biggest thing for Brianna is I would probably finish scheduling the hospital crew to like do maybe like 4-hour rotations so they can still enjoy the day. But have them definitely stay late because festivities will go well into the evening. Lord knows what'll happen. I will probably set up my schedule to help out at the vendors in the morning as far as organization, help them get set up. And then I would probably take a midday shift, probably at the hospital during the quieter time. And then probably work the evening just because I can somewhat see in the dark. And so just kind of get that organized and like let the hospital staff know if they need a runner. I'll be posted. You know, I should be around these three or four vendors as kind of a primary to help get things going. Because I imagine with the long lines and everything for boulet steak and shish kebabis, that I'll probably need to be there to help kind of organize queue lines and stuff like that. And you know, just trying to be as organized a person as I can be.
Okay. Miles.
Well, I'll definitely take an opportunity to kind of explain the whole situation with the impending attack on the Shoanti encampment. I make sure I explain that to Cardrillos, Fry, Bo, and Flavin. This could happen as soon as the day after the festival, and I, may need their assistance in guiding, maybe the sick, the elderly, or the young out of that encampment, if and when that attack does come. But beyond that, I'll just have them kind of work with any recruits that are training, make sure that they're accustomed to Chloe, who is also at the academy, so they actually have an opportunity to get to know one another and make sure that there is no friendly fire in the future. And then just kind of run over details as far as assignments, making sure that the guys that are actually running the archery stall itself know what they need to do, and etc.
Right. Naveen. What is your morning and most of day before the festival look like?
Do I need to worry about last week's game
No.
and the results?
Actually mentioning that you were very distraught. You didn't think it pertinent. It was more an embarrassing footnote in your history, because as you left that manor, you found the sword stabbed into the ground in the doorway threshold. Returned to you with an Aklo note in spider silk. You later, do you speak Aklo?
No.
You later, does Miles? You later discover was something of an apology note.
Okay. That was going to determine what I did today.
Written in Aklo, signed by Sarithiel.
Yay, ego scores.
Yay,
Good to have you
ego
back.
scores.
We've got some Zonkathon and potentially Kezavon to fight.
You sense
can't-
eagerness from the weapon.
So that being said, I guess Naveen would probably walk the different routes, make sure there wasn't anything big that we were missing in security detail, going over the plan with all of the different groups and what the change is going to look like. Keeping my eyes peeled for former Grey Maidens, starting to think on this resource that we have. One, we don't want these people running amok in the underbelly of our city, and two, they're okay fighters.
They're pretty good when you compare them to normal Corvosan guards.
That's true. They were during the plague, they were really tough.
So you are able to walk the routes, and now that you have black arrows, the 8 of the lower, the more initiates of the group are great individuals to put on the rooftops surrounding Domina Square, because they will also, with their longbows, they will also be able to cover the alleys that lead up to the square. Hell Knights have not arrived yet. They arrive tomorrow morning, but going and traveling the routes, you're able to get an idea of coverage, and the route that is to the east does pass by the hospital. So this one that goes along West Dock. For some reason, the stream still has us in Fort Rannick, and I moved everybody to the Corvosa map.
Did
Don't
you
know
move
what's
me?
up with that. Yeah.
I also see Fort Rannick.
Yeah, I also see Fort Rannick.
What?
I don't. I
What?
just see a black screen.
Oh my gosh.
I'm still Fort Rannick. Have been the entire time.
Yeah, Roll20 says that you are in Corvosa.
Roll20 is a liar.
Do we all need to refresh?
I
don't know.
refresh,
I will
and
refresh.
I'm seeing Corvosa.
Okay. I guess so.
I will refresh, and
Oh, I see
there we go.
Corvosa.
Okay. So
There
apparently
you
it
go.
just didn't. There must have been some hiccup for us all.
Yeah.
Well.
The Gray Maidens, however, seemed to have gone into hiding, is the best way to describe it, and may require a little more digging and a little more prying at some of your contacts who live and breathe the underbelly of Corvosa to find.
Yeah. I just don't know that there's time to do that before the
Probably not in a day, but it would definitely be something you could do to set up the defense of the city.
yes, so this is a note for the future.
Okay. Dalibor, you were kind of pretty clear with what you were doing today.
Yep. Although
Let's
this
have
time
a
I'm
dice
actually
roll.
going to take my crafter's fortune formula.
Yeah,
to
but
give me
let's have
another
a dice roll
+5.
and see how well you do on this one.
Yeah. So this one is not going to have my dad helping me because he can't stay up overnight.
Yeah. Are these for the 2 4s?
So I'll do the what's that?
So you did 8 hours yesterday.
Yeah.
Or 8. Okay.
Yeah, I'll do an 8. Basically 8 4 8 4, but I'm just going to put the 2 4s together. I'm assuming.
Okay.
As one roll.
Yeah.
And just do 3 8s if that's okay with you.
Okay. Yeah.
So this 8 will just be the overnights with my dad not there, and then I'll do one more for the day when my dad is there. So
gosh.
So that is without
your chart
my dad.
doesn't go that high.
Huh?
Your chart doesn't go that high.
It doesn't, because I wasn't planning on that. It will be. Give me a second here. Let me find it. Let me find where that is. See if I can do the math real quick. Where did I put it? Oh, there it is. All right, so a 55 would be 1,883 bottles, and it would cost 61.1 gold. I don't have
And
anything to
then-
give myself a +1, so
We're also going to have you, since you did for the overnights, and this is also the day, we're going to have you roll for the day too.
yeah. All right.
We can just do that now. Oh,
That one down, my dad is helping me with, and that'll bring me up to the 60, which will be 2,000 bottles. At
hey,
the
that
DC
one's
60.
easy. So you have a little over 5,000 bottles of alcohol.
But keep in mind, that's not like a bottle of wine. That's like
Yeah, it's like a beer bottle.
a beer
kind of,
bottle. Yeah.
or a little
Yeah.
mead bottle. But, you know, that's 5,000 bottles of wine. And there are, you know, like, oh, we got a raid.
Jada the Weed Man! Welcome on in! How you doing, Jada? What were you doing? Welcome in. Thank you for joining us. We are doing some Pathfinder First Edition Curse of the Crimson Throne mixed with the Rise of the Rune Lords, now known as the Claimers Conquest. How are you? How is your stream? How is everything playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel on your last stream? Welcome on in, Raiders. If you guys don't know Jada Weedman, go and check out his link right there. Go and give him a follow. Some Yu-Gi-Oh! Nice. I'm glad you had a good time. I hope you won all your games. We are currently rolling to create a bunch of beer in the game. You did D&D last night? Awesome. Awesome. The heart of the cards. So yeah, I mean, I don't know how many bottles of beer, which is basically like a mug of ale, essentially.
So there's 5,000 bottles of beer that you've made. But keep in mind, when Corvosa was healthy as a city, there's 18,000 people.
Right. But we're not the only ones distributing, right? This is just what's in the square. People all over town are going elsewhere for their celebrations, right?
Yeah, but that's 5,000 drinks just for the square. That's enough for a lot of people to get drunk.
Is it enough? Okay, I'm just making sure I've got enough.
Considering the population of the city when it was healthy was 18,000, and that includes like elderly who probably aren't drinking and children.
Okay, so it's enough. It would be enough to give everybody of drinking age at least maybe one drink.
1 to 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. You've been waiting to check out Pathfinder. Pathfinder's great. It's like old 3.5 D&D, but with a little bit better stuffs. Refined. So yeah, and I have named them. I have named the brews. It's the Corvosan Stinger Brew and the Infernal Bloom Reserve.
Those are good names.
I'll come up with some write-ups on them later on, but
the Corvosan Stinger and the Infernal what?
The Infernal Bloom Reserve. And the Infernal Bloom Reserve is the Elven Snowberry Pepper with Ifrit blood, distilled Ifrit blood used as ingredients. And then the Corvosan Stinger Brew is from the Corvosan Imps, venom stingers as part of the thing. So I'll come up with a little write-up on them just for shits and giggles. And I'll just send it to you, Andrew, if you want to use it for
restaurants
flavor later
taverns. Okay, Sephi, you're the last one.
Yeah. Well, I think first and foremost, she'll make sure that she gets the animal petting zoo situated, because those will need like little pens and areas. So she'll get some of the castle servants to help her sort that out.
And the sergeant will be helping as well.
Yeah.
Sergeant Droven.
Yep. She'll get
What was the
Nealand.
last one you chose?
I really wanted the hippogriff, but yeah, I think I'm gonna choose the hippogriff just to be on display.
Okay.
As much as I like the Blake sheep. And she'll probably spend some time playing with the animals. And getting to know them. I think she would also make a space if she thinks Shadow Mist would be okay at the petting zoo,
Okay.
because he's a very like unique horse,
Yeah.
and he has performed tricks. And he's pretty smart. He has a 4 int.
Okay.
Would today be the good day to do the planar ally? Or they go talk?
Yes, but we'll get to that potentially.
Okay.
If that's a scene we'll do, we'll see. Otherwise, if we don't get to that, then we'll just say you've done that.
Okay.
So the next one, we're gonna have a few short scenes. This is representative of the evening's events. I'd like somebody to roll me a d6 and re-roll a 6.
Right. I can, since I haven't rolled anything.
I got it.
Brian beat me. Okay.
Sit down, Miles.
These are at different times, too. This particular scene is later into the night. So late into the night, the evening of the festival, Brianna, you're Brandon, you're checking your butthole. No.
Sure.
Steven the Shark is very pleased with what you're doing Friday, Nick.
Yeah, I'm sure he is.
Brianna, you are just taking a moment of calm before the event's festivities. You're sitting on kind of a rooftop. We'll say you're probably at the hospital. You've just worked a little bit this evening, priming people to get ready for the festivities that are to start tomorrow. It'll be a
Sure.
long day. So you're just taking time sitting on the rooftop to would you be sharing this moment with anybody else, or would you be just taking the time for yourself?
Honestly, with the craziness of everything that's been going on the past couple of weeks, since supposedly we saved Corvosa and the chaos that is coming down, taking a breather just to kind of catch her own breath, I think Brianna would actually take that bit of time to herself to just kind of calm herself. I think that would be the smart thing to do.
It's nighttime, and you're taking time to yourself, just to catch your breath, which you haven't been able to do since, hard to remember, really.
Right.
It's a beautiful night. You know, the stars are all out. Sweet moon, which is the full moon. This particular cycle of it is called sweet moon.
Okay.
They're all called different things, is out and high in the sky and illuminates the city well enough that even normal eyes can see somewhat easily, much less you who have dark vision and low light. The wind shifts and you sense something sharp, metallic, unnatural carried on the breeze. A pulse of pressure builds behind your temples, behind your eyes, behind your ribs. It's not pain exactly, but it's something else. Is it anticipation for the festival? Is it stress? Is it instinct? The world changes. Roll me a fortitude save.
Crap.
Oh, sorry. This is a will save, not a fortitude.
Okay, slightly better with the will save.
Mm-hmm. Ooh,
Oh,
okay.
awesome roll.
Nice.
Heck yeah.
You hear everything. The rustle of paper banners, the flap of a moth's wings near a torch, footfalls on cobblestones from half a block away, a metallic ping from the vendor's stall to your left, half a block away. They dropped a coin on the ground.
Okay.
The entire street becomes a chamber of invisible sound. You exhale, and you hear your breath coming back to you, bouncing, shaping the world in echoes. What do you do?
I guess I'll probably start by standing up and starting to look around to see if I can better see like an origin for whatever's causing this.
You stand up and you're looking around and you see the door to the roof and there's a window next to it that sort of catches your eye.
Okay, I am going to I'm going to use one of my shadow illusions. Well, actually, so I'm going to look around for a few more moments. I guess trying as best I can not to show that I'm clocking that specific door and window.
Okay.
I'm then going to sit down, use one of my shadow illusions, which is like a silent image, to make it look like I'm sitting down. And then I'm going to hide in plain sight and sneak around to get to the door and see what I can see.
Okay. Roll your stealth.
It's a 20. Wow, I rolled low.
Sneak around to the door and you pass by the window. And you as you're looking, you could catch yourself, your reflection or a reflection
Okay.
in the window. For a heartbeat, you see it. not your face. Coal red eyes, a snout, fangs, leather wings twitching where your arms should be, stretching in tension you don't remember building. And then the pain fractures. Not from the touch, but the pressure of your gaze. Or your voice. You're not sure anymore. Your heart pounds like a war drum, and then you see the image yourself, crouched, sneaking.
Probably just try to take a moment or two to catch my breath, because I imagine Brianna's probably kind of hyperventilating a little bit.
Panicking as you are, you didn't even realize that the door is open. And somebody's gone through it. And
Okay.
see, perched on the ledge looking at you is Leori. She's just got that cheery smile as she's looking at you, just as you're recovering from looking at this reflection.
Leori, what are you doing here?
I was just... You saw that too, huh?
And I kind of look at the pane of glass, and then you saw that?
I saw you. Oh, Brianna. You are beautiful when you break. And you look down at your hands and you can see long claws, fur, the flesh on your arms starting to lengthen and flatten. This is the first time this has manifested, Brianna, because this is the first full moon since this has happened. But you need to pick the first manifestation power of your werebat lycanthropy.
Oh, shit.
I forgot about that. Oh my god!
All right.
You are corruption level 0. You made your save, so you don't black out and do something horrible.
That was so long ago.
Ironically, though, in game, it's only been a couple of weeks.
Right.
Yeah.
But
all right.
But for those of you who followed the Crimson Throne game, that was a couple of years ago. Yeah.
Somebody else roll me a d6.
All right,
and
Miles.
re-roll 6 and 3.
Okay.
I would say before that happens, as kind of an end off, there's probably a scream, which you can't, for those that are walking on the street, probably can't quite tell is a scream or the screech of a high-pitched bat.
All the dogs that go crazy, though.
All the dogs going crazy.
Yeah, dogs going crazy.
In fact, even Petra's like,
third time's the charm, maybe?
Yeah.
Just re-roll until it's not a 3.
Dear
Or a
Lord.
6.
All right, 4.
4.
Good.
4.
All right.
Okay. Naveen, this is you kind of going back to the academy.
Okay.
And you're going to be meeting with, what was your contact's name, who was doing the building for you? Stonebeard. You are meeting with Stonebeard, just attending to some school business in the time you have before the festival. Would you be doing this on your own, or would you have anybody helping you with this?
I know that Delavore helped me set up like the contracts and negotiate, but he's probably busy, and now that the contracts are set up, I don't know if like, necessarily need him for every interaction.
Yeah.
So I'd probably go by myself.
Okay. So you're meeting with Stonebeard, and you've sort of Stonebeard is who you are using to build your school, but you're also leveraging Stonebeard's experience to sort of help with some of the building for the festival. And so it's a two birds, one stone meeting. As you approach Stonebeard, he's called to speak with you. And he's at the academy, and you enter into the office that he's at, kind of a space you've set for your administrative office. And he kind of looks concerned.
Yeah, what's going on?
We have a problem with some of the supplies, building supplies for the stage and training pavilion, and some of the supplies for renovations.
What sort of issues?
Well, that the lumber we were expecting never arrived.
Okay.
I looked into it, and the lumber order was apparently reprioritized.
By whom?
There is a document from the Longacre building that authorizes repurposing the delivery to address emergency. You see, he kind of looks at a paper, address emergency noble housing shortfalls.
Oh, really?
Somebody in the Longacre building authorized this, and it looks like the Scarnetti Lumber Company has reprioritized our order.
I
Would you like me to try to go through different local channels to get the supplies? It might
have we
cost
paid
more.
have we already paid for this lumber?
For the school, Yes.
Then I want my lumber. Or they can pay me interest.
Okay.
If
What about
you
for
if you are unable to handle that, let me know and I will bring it up with certain parties.
right? Let's see what I can do.
Thank you.
All right. Somebody else, roll me a d6, or actually roll me a d3. Sephi, you are going to set up a planar ally spell.
Yeah.
Are you doing this on your own, or are you recruiting anybody to assist you with negotiating with the celestial ally?
Huh. Well, Delaware's kind of busy. Arabella's not here. I don't know how good Naveen is at negotiations. And my brother just walked away from his screen. I think she'd do it on her own, or maybe if Miles comes back, she'd have Miles help. Or maybe Brianna? No, she'll do it on her own.
You're gonna do it on your own? Okay.
Yeah.
So
Unless Miles is around, but
what planar ally spell are you casting?
greater.
And what are you trying to summon?
What's my knowledge planes?
Oh, it's of your deity's choice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I cast it and I'll use diamond dust from the healing fund. And oh, you know what? Maybe a Shawnee. I'll have a Shawnee help me. Because he's an actual cleric.
Okay.
Or yeah.
I was sort of asking if you wanted any of the other players to interact with you in this scene, but Ashani can be there to help.
Sure. If Miles is around, maybe Miles.
Miles is pretty much just posted up, just probably chit-chatting with Jacardro, so if
Okay.
he's probably not
Yeah.
doing anything but resting right now.
All right. Then Miles can help me.
Okay.
Actually, Miles and like if Brianna's there too, because Steffi's trying to get them together.
So Brianna, this is during the day before your transformation happens.
Gotcha.
All right. So preferably like Shaylin would be good, or like Serenray.
But you have no idea who gives you your powers.
Yeah. So like when Steffi's doing this and like she's doing the planar ally, she does like the circle with the diamond dust. It's kind of like watching a little kid like pretending that they know what they're doing, but just kind of making up things.
Okay.
But trying to make it official, and she'll like throw the diamond dust over her shoulder and like sprinkle it around.
Make a spellcraft check.
Spellcraft?
Yep.
Okay. Ooh, 27.
Okay, now roll me a d20.
Three.
Greater.
I guess I do have regular planar ally too. But I said greater.
You already said greater.
And this has to be important. Like,
You spend your diamond dust and you call preferably Shaylin,
Caden Kalian,
Caden Kalian,
Erastal, Sorenray,
Erastal, Serenray, whoever gives me my
Desna.
powers.
Someone fun.
Someone fun to help me. And you summon. Where are you doing this?
Probably. Oh, at the Golden Key, there's like that back stable area.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there.
So what answers your call is a gangly black wasp that has delicate wings, articulate hands on its front legs, and a pair of jagged stingers the length of a human arm. I'll
Hello?
show what it looks like. Looks like this.
Oh, huh.
Miles will certainly be taken aback.
That's cool.
I kind of lean over to Miles and whisper, "Mine was like a dream moth, so I'm pretty sure it's not Desna."
Okay.
What languages do you speak, Sephi?
Common, Celestial, and Thessalonian.
Do any of the three of you speak Elven?
No. Unless I got Elven when I got reincarnated, I do not.
So it speaks in a language you don't understand.
Okay, I apologize. Hold, please.
And then after a moment, if this insect could roll its eyes, you sense that it probably is. And it says, "You called?"
Yeah. Hi, how are you doing? Do you like parties? Do you like having fun?
I love fun. The savored sting answers you.
Is that
Can I make a religion roll to know
is
what?
that
Yes. That's a religion.
Let's see, my religion is
Would
9.
that be a DC 10 by chance?
It would be a DC 10.
Hey, made the roll.
yeah.
Barely.
Miles literally just has intelligence.
Hey, there you go.
Hey,
These are the
See?
C's and D's group.
Yep.
You were asking for somebody to give you someone fun for a party.
Yeah.
You never expected that Callistria would answer you.
I mean,
And not
you may not have expected it, but that does kind of sounds like Callistria's back. At least one of the stings does, you know.
Hmm.
Eh,
Well,
Wow, that's fantastic. What do you like to do at parties?
What do you want me to do?
Well, can you sing or tell stories or like give people rides?
I'm a great dancer.
Little
Oof.
tap shoes on each of its little feet.
You're a great dancer.
Really? And I'm like, you know what? My morbid curiosity, and this might kill me, but my morbid curiosity and your statement intrigues me. Prove it. And I walk up to him to start dancing. And I'll do like the, like the intro curtsy kind of thing.
This insect,
Because Brianna can cut a rug.
this insect starts dancing with you.
Damn.
And you're
We're dancing.
surprised that an insect can move like this. And Miles, you watch and you just feel shame.
yes, I do.
Miles, are you going to dance with them? Go ahead and roll your dance.
All right. Let's see if I can beat a 10.
All right. Steffi will sing. She just wants to get a party now.
Oh,
Hey.
Actually, those are some pretty solid dance rolls.
Oh
And
man.
you see, as this bug is dancing, it like swirls and shifts in this cloud of like particulate wasps, bugs, and this shifts into this elven woman who is like grabs your arms and is dancing with you, Brianna.
Okay.
And she looks like this.
Oh wow, cool
Oh,
pick.
dope.
Very cool pick.
Yeah.
It's what the bug transforms into.
Oh, I think you are just perfect. Oh.
Bar, come on in, Daku. How are you doing? What were you doing? Tell us all the things, Dakabera. Dakabera, amazing streamer, friend of ours. Does a lot of Fortnite and Cyberpunk and all kinds of other games. Welcome on in.
Oh.
Wow, well, I'll actually be like a little flustered after all the dancing. Have to like, fan myself for a moment. Like, wow, that you can really cut a rug. Give a little hip bump.
I can cut other things too, if you know what I mean.
I think I catch your drift. Well, certainly.
Is it that kind of party?
Unfortunately, we hope not.
It's more
How
fun
boring.
party. I mean, there's gonna be drinking.
I guess.
Most definitely drinking, other forms of revelry. But we were always on guard. In case
Were you
something
talking
does.
about like sex party whooping it up, or like murder party murdering it up?
Ooh,
Oh.
either or.
Oh.
Which one did you want it to be? Because I'm down for either.
You know, I have a well, it's
Uh,
complicated, but I maybe not ready for okay, Seffi, do you need me for anything else? Great. Okay, see you later. Goodbye. And like she heads out the door really blushing and
Bye bye, she says.
yeah, she's really shy.
That she is.
Those ones are the most fun.
No.
Watching them trip over
We need to
themselves.
introduce you to our friend Leori.
Well,
so we don't have anybody to host like the dance party, and we're gonna have a battle of the bands. Do you like music? Because you like dancing?
Music's okay.
Well, would you like to be our MC for the battle of the bands? And then, well, out of character, we don't have an MC for that, right? Besides Trinia, maybe?
yeah, it sounds about right.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna have Trivnia do it, but then she decided she was gonna join one of the bands, the main band.
Well,
because she was
for
gonna
sure
be one of
leading
our
the dancing
judges.
in the party. What sort of payment do you like? So it's a little bit it's family friendly because it's a festival. I mean, there will be after parties, and I'm sure there'll be probably hopefully not the murdering, but maybe the other thing you like afterwards. Because you are very beautiful.
I know.
And modest too. No, just
well.
Oh.
Like I have jewelry that I can get you.
What kind of jewelry?
Oh man, I don't really want to give up my red silk gloves, but here I have my red silk gloves. I also have my gloves that smell like lilacs. I have a jade bracelet and a jade comb. And a silver bracelet.
Could you? What about a favor instead?
Okay. What kind of favor?
You don't have to pay me any gold, just a favor instead.
Okay. What is the favor though?
Or at a night with the king.
I mean,
You've got his ear, right?
sure. I mean, he doesn't know me. I mean, I know the seneschal pretty well. Okay, if I can't get you a night with the king, I also have some ancient dildos.
Oh.
From the
I might
time
be
of the
interested in that.
Yeah.
Oh, those.
Yeah.
What are they worth?
I don't. Miles.
I don't remember.
I
I
can
believe our
take.
our sister was tracking that.
Yeah, she was very interested in that. I can take you there. They're in a locked chest, but they're on a different plane. But they're
Okay.
from the Rune Lord of Lust. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was also a former sex slave there, but he died.
Never mind. I don't want the a night with the crusty king. Give me that instead.
The dildo? Okay.
Well then.
Perfect.
Okay. So the evening passes, and Sephi, just before you're going to bed, or actually in the morning, you're like, I'm gonna Shadow Mist is Carrie companion, right?
No, he's actually out right now.
Don't you
Because
normally carry him in a figurine?
Yeah, I normally do.
Okay. So you go to your figurine collection, release Shadow Mist. You realize that there's a figurine that's missing.
The bunny.
Where is Snowball?
Oh no. Sephi wakes up Miles.
This is the next morning.
Yeah, just like shakes him. Miles,
Yes.
wake up! Wake up! Snowball's missing.
What? One place I can think of. A petting zoo?
I didn't take him out.
You didn't. I didn't. But what's to say someone else didn't?
How do we find him? Should I
So
cast
as you
Miracle?
panically try to search for Snowball, the first light of Moon Day spills across Corvosa's rooftops, kissed golden by a southern sun and chased by a wind that smells of salt summer and something softer like rain on a dry stone. From on top, Castle Corvosa, pennants snap awake in the breeze. Market stalls bloom along the plaza in bursts of bright canvas. Children race down the cobbles, their laughter chasing the wind like kites. In the shadows of broken buildings and half-healed scars, musicians tune lutes and tighten drumskins. Somewhere a chorus of bards strikes the first jubilant chord of the day. The bells of the pantheon of the many toll once, then again, carried on the wind, and with them comes a wave of cheers from the gathering crowd. Banners ripple above Domina Square, the scent of roasted meat, honeyed wine, and dozens of summer spices rides on the air. The gates of the mage's mansions open like mirrored dreams, and the sounds of baby hippogriffs, cougar cubs, and what was
Baby
the last
owlbears.
and baby owlbears hoots call out from their pens. Someone launches a firework far too early, and the people cheer anyways. The Riverwind has returned, and as laughter fills the plaza and the city celebrates, something lingers on a hooded figure watching from a nearby rooftop. Silent, smiling. That's where we'll end. Oh God, Snowball's missing.
God, Snowball's missing.
The world's strongest rabbit is missing.
We just need to train it to like take directions, and we'll just tie it to the cart. Who needs an oxen? We just little rabbit tied to a cart.
Literally, it's as strong as a team of oxen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think I know what Miles wants to do and try to hunt down Snowball.
All the black
He-
arrows are like, we have to look for this little white bunny rabbit.
Hey, at least
I'm a
they're
s-
trained.
Well, the question is, do we know how many rabbits we were supposed to have in the petting zoo? Because if we know a number and it's that number plus one, we know where Snowball is.
Yeah.
Maybe.
That's funny. Just think when that one has
God.
babies. The hybrid.
I don't know if it'll be able to because I
What
think
is
something will
Snowball?
snap.
It's the
Snowball
it's
is a rune giant that was baleful polymorphed into a bunny.
Yep, and it failed both saves. Amazingly, it failed both saves.
Wow.
So it's a bunny with like a
40 plus strength.
yeah.
Yeah, it is a bunny rabbit with over a 40 strength.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
So that's where the Monty Python rabbit came from.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For the
Yep.
people watching, thank you so much for being here, guys. I want to thank all of our raiders today. We got a bunch of awesome raiders. We had Chibi Corgi's Corner came in and raided us. Thank you for that. Zubatsi coming in with the raid. Jake the Weedman and Daku Bera, all amazing streamers, all amazing friend of ours. Go and check all of them out. They are awesome. Guys, I will not be back tomorrow or Friday, but we will be back on Monday. We're going to be doing Off the Pod with our friend and Be Kinder stream team member Tux. She's also one of the coders for Riftopia, so we may or may not talk a little bit about Riftopia as well. Maybe talk a little bit about game mastering, GMing. She is also a celiac. We might talk some gluten-free, so come and join us on Monday, 6 p.m. Central for Off the Pod with Tux. Speaking of Tux, that's who we're going to raid. She is co-streaming with our other Be Kinder stream team members, and they are playing a game called Wizard 101, which I believe is free, and you can play and be a wizard yourself. So come and join us for the raid. Thank you guys so much for being here. Take care. Good night. I may be back over the weekend, depending on how I'm feeling, to do some Riftopia. So just keep an eye out to see if you get a go live notification from Epic Realms to try out Riftopia with me. We will see you guys later and down the road. Take care and good night. You can use my raid emotes, your raid emotes, anybody's raid emotes. Just go ahead and make sure your voices are heard. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you to our players. Thank you to our GM. Take care and good night, everyone.